They said it was just another day at the park, until Chrisean Rock showed her face to the world and said, "Look at me, bruised, shaken, and visibly emotional." Chrisean claims she was jumped in broad daylight at Compton Park, and what happened next has the internet divided, the streets talking, and fans demanding answers. Was this a random attack, a targeted setup, or something much deeper tied to her ongoing controversies? Stay with me, because this story is far more complicated than the headlines want you to believe. Over the past few years, Chrisean Rock has become one of the most polarizing figures in pop culture, from reality TV blowups to public relationship chaos, legal trouble, and viral moments that spread faster than facts. Her life has played out almost entirely online. Every move she makes sparks debate, and every controversy seems to come with two very different sides of the story. But this time, things feel different. When videos and photos began circulating, showing Chrisean claiming she was jumped at Compton Park, the internet froze. Fans noticed the marks on her face. Critics questioned the timeline. Others immediately asked why she was even there and who she was with. Then Christian spoke directly to the camera, saying a phrase that instantly went viral. "Look at my face." That moment shifted the conversation from gossip to something much more serious. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what Chrisean Rock has said about the incident, what witnesses and online users claim happened, and what evidence is actually available right now. We'll separate confirmed details from speculation, explain why this situation escalated so quickly online, and explore how her past controversies may be shaping public reaction to this moment. This isn't just about a fight at a park. It's about visibility, credibility, and how fast a narrative can spin out of control when someone with a long history of chaos claims victimhood. And as we dig deeper, one detail about this incident raises a major red flag that many people completely missed at first. According to Chrisean Rock, the incident unfolded in broad daylight at Compton Park, a public space where families, kids, and community members are usually around. She claims the situation escalated quickly and unexpectedly, saying she was approached and then jumped by multiple people. Shortly after, she posted videos and images online, directing attention to her face and injuries, repeatedly telling viewers to look closely. What immediately caught the internet's attention was the timing. Chrisean did not wait days to speak out. She went live and posted almost immediately, visibly emotional, with marks on her face that supporters say looked fresh. That urgency made many fans believe this was not staged or exaggerated, but a raw, real-time reaction to something traumatic. However, as with anything involving Chrisean Rock, the details became complicated fast. There were no immediate police reports publicly confirmed at the time. Her claims went viral. No official statements from park authorities surfaced right away. That gap between her personal account and official confirmation created space for speculation to explode online. Some people who claimed to be familiar with the area questioned how an incident like that could happen without more footage surfacing instantly. Compton Park is known to have people recording constantly, especially when a celebrity is present. Others pushed back on that argument, pointing out that not every altercation gets captured, even in crowded places. Chrisean maintained that the attack was real and unprovoked. She did not initially name who was involved, but she strongly implied it wasn't random. That implication alone sent social media into detective mode, with users combing through her recent posts, comments, and known tensions to figure out who might have motive. Another detail that stood out was her physical condition afterward. While some fans pointed to visible swelling and marks as proof, critics argued that the injuries appeared minor for a group attack. That debate quickly turned toxic, with people either dismissing her claims entirely or accusing others of minimizing violence against her. The truth is, at this stage, the only fully confirmed facts are what Chrisean herself showed and said. Everything else existed in a gray area fueled by screenshots, reactions, and assumptions. And that uncertainty is exactly what made this situation explode. Because as more people started digging, one question kept coming up again and again. If this wasn't random, then who was she really dealing with that day? To truly understand what happened at Compton Park, we need to look at the events leading up to the incident, because this was not happening in a vacuum. Chrisean Rock has lived much of her life under a public microscope. Between reality TV appearances, social media feuds, and high-profile relationships, her personal conflicts are often played out for the world to see. And while some may dismiss these as drama, in many cases, these tensions can create real-life consequences. In the weeks leading up to the alleged attack, Chrisean had been involved in several heated exchanges online and offline. Some of these involved other reality TV personalities, while others were connected to individuals in her local community. Fans who follow her closely noticed a pattern: repeated confrontations, viral videos hinting at unresolved disputes, and cryptic social media posts suggesting frustration and warning her followers to watch out or stay tuned. One of the most talked about online moments was a clip where Chrisean appeared in a public space visibly upset, hinting that someone had been disrespecting her reputation and that actions have consequences. At the time, many dismissed it as typical social media posturing. But when the Compton Park incident occurred, observers began connecting the dots. That seemingly minor outburst suddenly looked more like a warning than a casual vent. Moreover, Chrisean's past relationships and alliances are critical to understanding the context. Some of the people around her have histories of aggressive behavior or street affiliations, and social media chatter suggested that old rivalries might have resurfaced. While it's impossible to confirm every claim circulating online, the sheer number of voices discussing these tensions shows how public her personal life has become and how that visibility can escalate situations. Another important factor is her reputation for speaking openly about conflicts. Chrisean has never shied away from confronting someone directly, whether in person or on social media. This boldness, while admired by some fans, may also make her a target. Public confrontations often invite retaliation, especially in high drama circles where pride, reputation, and social standing matter more than most outsiders realize. Finally, the build-up to Compton Park also included rumors of ongoing threats. Followers claimed she had been warned to avoid certain areas or people, but she chose to show up anyway, as she often does, unfiltered, unrestrained, and unwilling to let fear dictate her movements. That decision may have been empowering in her eyes, but it also set the stage for what would become one of the most talked about moments of her career. The tension between her bold personality and the real-world consequences of her actions created a perfect storm. Fans and critics alike began to ask, was this attack entirely spontaneous, or had the situation been brewing long before that fateful day? Once Chrisean Rock went public with her claims, the online reaction was immediate and intense. Within hours, clips from the incident were circulating across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Some videos showed her face up close, highlighting scratches, swelling, and bruising, while other footage captured the chaotic aftermath, including crowds gathering, people talking over one another, and social media users speculating on what happened before the camera started rolling. The most viral clip was the one where Chrisean repeatedly says, "Look at my face," while showing injuries. This moment quickly became a meme, but it also served as undeniable visual evidence that something had occurred. Supporters praised her for documenting the incident, calling her bravery unfiltered and raw. Critics, on the other hand, questioned the authenticity of the injuries, claiming that camera angles and lighting could exaggerate or distort what was actually visible. Beyond the visuals, social media chatter added layers of complexity. Screenshots of comments suggested that some people claimed to have insider knowledge about the situation, including who was allegedly involved, what led up to the confrontation, and even prior warnings that Chrisean might face retaliation. Others argued that many of these claims were unverified, speculative, and in some cases, outright fabrications meant to drive views or stir drama. What's particularly interesting is how quickly debates formed over interpretation versus reality. Some users focused solely on the visuals, saying the marks on her face clearly indicated she had been attacked. Others looked at the timing and circumstances, why the incident was filmed, why police reports seemed delayed, and why Chrisean herself went live immediately to question whether the confrontation had been orchestrated for social media engagement. The divide online reflects a broader challenge in today's celebrity culture. Public perception is shaped not just by what happens, but by how it's presented and consumed. A single clip can spark thousands of opinions, but separating fact from speculation becomes increasingly difficult. In Christian's case, the videos and photos are tangible evidence of her claims, yet the surrounding narrative remains murky, leaving audiences to fill in gaps with their assumptions. And just when it seemed that the story could be reduced to viral clips and online arguments, another twist emerged. Reports surfaced suggesting that the Compton Park incident might have connections to ongoing rivalries and unresolved conflicts in Chrisean's personal and professional life. These connections, some say, hint at a bigger story, one that isn't just about a fight, but about reputation, influence, and the complex web of relationships surrounding her. To fully understand why the Compton Park incident became such a high-profile moment, we have to examine Chrisean Rock's ongoing rivalries and conflicts. Over the past year, she has been involved in multiple disputes, both public and private, that some believe created the conditions for this confrontation. These aren't just typical celebrity spats. They involve personal relationships, social media feuds, and competitive energy that often spills into real-life encounters. One of the most prominent areas of tension has been her relationships with fellow reality TV personalities. Chrisean has a long history of clashes with peers in the entertainment industry, many of which have been documented on platforms like Instagram Live, TikTok, and YouTube. Some conflicts involve accusations of betrayal, disrespect, or social manipulation. Even casual observers could see that lines were being drawn, alliances were shifting, and grudges were being held close. In addition, Chrisean has navigated highly publicized personal relationships that frequently ended in public arguments or social media confrontations. Many of her former associates and romantic partners have been involved in disputes that made headlines, further complicating her public image. Fans often debate whether these feuds are authentic or partly performed for engagement, but the overlap between her personal and professional conflicts is undeniable. Another critical factor is her presence in certain geographic areas and communities known for heightened tensions. Compton Park, for example, is not just a public space, it's a local hub where interpersonal conflicts can escalate quickly due to long standing rivalries or past grievances. Chrisean has admitted in interviews that she is aware of the dynamics in these environments, but her bold personality often leads her to confront situations head on, even when caution might be advisable. Social media activity leading up to the incident adds more context. Weeks before the alleged jump, Chrisean posted cryptic messages hinting at feeling targeted or disrespected. Some of these posts included veiled warnings to certain individuals, while others expressed frustration about being under constant scrutiny. Observers noted that these posts often generate reactions from both fans and critics, creating a digital pressure cooker where conflicts are magnified and narratives spiral out of control. Taken together, these rivalries and conflicts paint a picture of a high risk environment. Chrisean's presence at Compton Park may not have been coincidental. Some believe it was a flashpoint in an ongoing series of tensions. The incident, therefore, can be seen not just as a single event, but as the culmination of ongoing disputes that had been building over weeks or months. After days of speculation, Chrisean Rock broke her silence with a statement that has left fans, critics, and the media scrambling to interpret her words. Unlike the immediate reaction videos, this statement was more controlled, deliberate, and filled with layers of meaning that suggest she is aware of the high stakes surrounding the Compton Park incident. In her address, Chrisean directly referenced the attack, emphasizing that the altercation was real, unprovoked, and traumatic. She reiterated the now iconic phrase, "Look at my face," reminding viewers that the evidence of the assault is visible for anyone to see. But she didn't stop there. Beyond documenting the physical impact, she used the opportunity to speak about accountability, warning those who instigate or encourage violence that there are consequences. This wasn't just a call out, it was a public assertion of her strength and resilience. What made this statement particularly compelling was the emotional depth. Chrisean's voice conveyed vulnerability, anger, and defiance all at once. She acknowledged that being in the public eye complicates situations like this because people are quick to judge, to meme, and to speculate without knowing the full context. Her statement made it clear that while she is unafraid of criticism, she expects the public to recognize the seriousness of real-life threats. Fans immediately took her words as empowering. Supporters praised her courage for documenting her experience in real time and for speaking out when others might have stayed silent. Many pointed out that Chrisean has consistently taken control of her own narrative, refusing to let anyone else define her story. In this sense, the statement was more than a response to an attack. It was a demonstration of agency and self-assertion. Critics, however, continued to debate her motivations. Some argued that by posting videos and statements so quickly, Chrisean was leveraging a traumatic event for attention and online engagement. Others questioned the timing and suggested that certain elements of the incident might have been exaggerated. Regardless of these interpretations, the reality is that her statement refocused the conversation from speculation to personal testimony. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of her statement was the hint at future developments. Chrisean suggested that the Compton Park incident was not an isolated event, but part of ongoing challenges in her life, signaling that she may address these matters further, either legally, publicly, or through her content. This subtle promise of continuation has already sparked massive speculation. Will there be a follow-up video? Are there legal actions pending? Will this lead to confrontation with individuals allegedly involved? The suspense is real, and it's exactly what keeps audiences engaged. Chrisean has transformed a moment of vulnerability into a turning point in her public narrative, and the ripple effects are still unfolding. People are now watching, not just to see what happened in Compton Park, but to see how Chrisean Rock handles the aftermath, asserts control over her story, and potentially reshapes her personal and professional trajectory. And just when it seemed the story was only about personal rivalries, another layer surfaced: legal, social, and community implications that could have serious consequences for Chrisean and anyone involved in the incident. In the next section, we'll explore those implications and why this story isn't just viral content. It could have long-term effects on her career and reputation. The Compton Park incident doesn't exist in a vacuum. It has serious implications that go far beyond viral clips and social media commentary. For someone like Chrisean Rock, whose career is built on visibility, personal brand, and public perception, an event like this can have lasting consequences in multiple areas: legal, social, and professional. From a legal standpoint, any alleged physical altercation carries potential criminal consequences. If authorities decide to investigate, there could be charges for assault, battery, or even conspiracy if multiple parties were involved. At the time the videos went viral, there was no immediate confirmation of police involvement, leaving fans to speculate. Some online users claimed that a report had been filed behind the scenes, while others argued that Chrisean's team might have avoided official channels to maintain control of the narrative. Either way, this ambiguity creates risk. Socially, the incident has amplified public scrutiny. Chrisean has a massive following across multiple platforms, and her audience is deeply engaged in her personal life. Supporters rallied around her, expressing outrage and solidarity, while critics dissected every detail, questioning her motives, timing, and credibility. In this digital age, the court of public opinion often moves faster than legal authorities, meaning reputational damage can occur regardless of the actual facts. One misinterpreted post or misaligned comment can be shared thousands of times in hours, further complicating her public image. Professionally, the stakes are just as high. Chrisean's career depends on visibility, brand partnerships, and ongoing reality TV involvement. Networks, sponsors, and collaborators watch social media trends closely, and an incident framed as violent or chaotic can affect future opportunities. While controversy can sometimes increase engagement and relevance, it can also create hesitancy among potential partners who don't want to be associated with unpredictable situations. This delicate balance between staying relevant and maintaining professional credibility is something Chrisean now has to navigate carefully.